involvement of the Joint Chiefs, Chairman of the Joint, is designed to demonstrate commitment and to also demonstrate that the U.S., having deployed 200 of its men and women via CENTCOM into this coordination center, which is located Kiryat Gat in southern Israel, a demonstration of commitment. Whether it proves to be much beyond that is unclear, because the American role here is not to deploy its own forces in Gaza, probably not even to lead an Arab or Muslim security force, but to support the negotiations and to facilitate issues regarding governance, security, and reconstruction. I don't think the United States is prepared to pay for sure, it's not prepared to defray the billions of dollars that will be required to rebuild Gaza, let alone to deploy its own forces into Gaza. So I think it was a demonstration, like CENTCOM's commitment to deploy the 200 forces into the coordination center, a demonstration of American commitment, but it's largely, frankly, symbolic until you end up getting traction on the several issues that we've been discussing. One is security and the deployment of an international stabilization force, which is called for in the agreement, and a governing structure, which frankly, in the 20 points, minimizes the Palestinian role and creates a bigger responsibility for an internationally sanctioned board of peace with the President of the United States as chairman of the board. Frankly, that concept is less important than the will of the United States to try to lean on the Israelis and through its key Arab partners, Qataris, the Turks, and the Egyptians, to try to bring Hamas around to a point where, in fact, security in Gaza becomes, and right now, as I mentioned before, the fundamental divide between the current Israeli government and the Islamic resistance movement, Hamas, that divide cannot be bridged. Again, it'll play a role from a distance. It'll press to try to organize such a force. It won't deploy its own forces. It'll monitor whatever ceasefire arrangements are agreed to. Well, it's doing that now. As far as the practicality of an international stabilization force, look, the primary responsibility for governing and maintaining security in Gaza is a Palestinian responsibility. Politically, for sure, that is the case. I see an international stabilization force, and again, a mandate is required, rules of engagement are required. Exactly what is the role of the international stabilization force? Is it to enforce a ceasefire or a peace agreement in Gaza, or is it to facilitate one? Is it in a position to be able to use deadly force against Palestinian groups, Hamas, Palestine Islamic Jihad, any of the other smaller Palestinian groups? Or is it to sort of maintain a line of conflict to secure the line that separates Hamas-controlled areas from Israel's? Or alternatively, is it to patrol and deploy in a sort of humanitarian zone in the south, which could serve as a model for what Gaza could be like if it were freed from Hamas control and influence? I don't know. Clearly, the mediators are now in the process of trying to answer these questions. We'll see in the weeks ahead whether or not it's feasible or practical. If it's not, then I think the future seems to me pretty clear. We're going to continue to see periodic disruptions of the ceasefire, episodic reconstruction efforts,